For another Thursday at 6 p.m. Livsn live session with this time we're going to have Chris Woolis as a guest. Tonight's topic, and we're going to have a little bit of a format change for tonight's topic, which is going to be all about the design process of the Flex Canvas pants. This is the product that we're the most known for. It's one of our first two that we released, and it's by far our most popular product, and we're actually going with a version 2 redesign right now that's going live on Kickstarter here in, a little over 3 weeks. The exact date's still not been released yet. So in this one, the format changes a little bit. Instead of waiting for questions from you, Chris and I are going to be talking, and Chris is going to be asking me questions. I'll be asking him questions, and we're going to go into the design process all the way from sketch to revision to sampling to how we found our factory, how we chose the fabric, and what we're going to be doing. Also, there's something going on with Instagram right now where it looks like a lot of the country, I'm looking at the down detector right now, a lot of the country's down, a lot of people are having problems with it. I was having problems with it, and Chris was too. So if you have problems with Instagram, that's fine. If we have a little bit of lower turnout this time, that's fine. It's just a reality of the platform. These are recorded and put on YouTube, so this is something that we'll record and have for people to watch in the future. This last week, if you've been kind of following Livsn, we've been filming our brand film and our Kickstarter video for the upcoming launch. We've been at the Buffalo River. All right, broadcast is working clear. Thanks, Ryan, for the heads up. Appreciate that. We've been out by the Buffalo River. We went to the Goat Trail, which is a really epic trail about 200 feet up the middle of a bluff on the Buffalo River, and did some shots out there, walking along and hiking. And then we hiked back and went and stayed at Horseshoe Canyon Ranch, one of the best places to climb, in the United States, and went out some of the more scenic routes and took pictures and videos of climbing. And so we've been out in the field for the last couple days. Also, on a personal note, after a trip to the Buffalo this last weekend for more recreational purposes, came down with a stomach bug. The whole group, all 7 of us staying in this cabin, went down. So recovering now, been eating food, but a little bit under the weather the last few days, and into that new trip and camp last night. So feeling good. The fresh air helps, but still getting back into it. With that, Chris, if you haven't been bumped off, please request to join as a co-presenter, and we'll get into the questions and answers on the Flex Canvas Pants design process, and we'll go really deep into these. Also, just a reminder, you guys, we're not going to just sit here and answer your questions. We're going to, getting you in here, Chris, we're going to give you a request for design features, colors. We're going to be talking about what we're going to be offering in the Kickstarter and how we're going to be doing that. So while we wait for Chris to pop in, which,
hey,
getting some audio, no video. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
You got me in here?
Yeah, see ya. Say hi to everybody.
Hello.
All right, Chris, I'm going to let you introduce yourself again, and I'm going to go grab my notebook with all of our color swatches in
Sure.
it.
So my name's Chris. Been working with Andrew kind of since day one, back and forth. Really been helping him get through the development process. That's my background, is apparel design, apparel development. So I helped him kind of with the inception. I helped him, actually work on the logos, all the trims, everything. And then as far as the actual products go, I am kind of the brain trust with him to make sure things are going the right way and getting products developed to be tip-top shape and ready for you guys to take out and beat up.
Nice. Well, thanks for coming on, Chris.
Yeah.
If you are good with the intro, then let's go ahead and start the question and answer process.
So again, if anybody's just joining, we're gonna just go back and forth on our best-selling product, the Flex Canvas Pants. We kind of wanted to give some more insights into what it takes to develop a product like the Flex Canvas Pants and what we believe makes them so special. And so I was just jotting down some questions, and I guess my first is if anybody else is interested in developing products and stuff, but basically, where did Livsn come up with the idea of where did Livsn come up with the idea of making the Flex Canvas Pants, and kind of where did the inception come from?
Yeah. So Also, this is a good time to plug this because if you're on our email list, you just got an email from me that detailed this exact process and started out with this question, which is, why did we decide to make the Flex Canvas pants? If you follow us, if you're familiar with the way that we think about apparel and design and really bringing products into the world, you know that we want to bring something in when it has a merit to be there. We want it to be a product that deserves to exist and solves a problem that something else doesn't already do better, or as good as we can do it. So with that, the Flex Canvas pants came from a few different things. The main one was just a frustration with the current options available for an all-around outdoor pant in the market that fit the way these do and that weren't over-designed, over-featured, and just very high quality with good craftsmanship. So typically, there's exceptions to this, and I haven't seen everything in the world, but a lot of the pants that had really great functionality and features fit pretty poorly and didn't look good. Not something you'd want to wear on a day-to-day basis. A lot of the outdoor industry's quote-unquote slim fit is very odd. The way it fits is strange, and they just don't, that's not really the bread and butter of the traditional companies here, and they can make a very big broomy fit, but the slim fit's hard. And then the design quality and attention to detail that, I've gotten used to from higher end clothing and better made pants was just off. The construction quality, the attention to detail, the way it was sewn and stitched, and it was always something really just not quite right with the pants on the market, and I couldn't find the ones that I really liked. And so, as a lot of good design, it started with a problem that I had, and was really kind of a passion project on the side of other products we were currently developing.
I believe that.
Yeah. So
that kind of leads me into saying, I guess step into like one of what I believe is when you go to design a product, one of the most important fundamental issues is, you ask yourself, what is the problem we're trying to solve? And I always kind of start with the idea of, you take, thermal regulation or things like that, and it usually starts with the fabric. So I ask you, where did the fabric come from? What was the choice, especially in an industry right now where we're pushing further and further into creating, more and more technical and all this, whereas this canvas pant, as technical as it is, it doesn't have some of those features that you see overly done in some other pants. And so kind of asking, where did the pants come from, or the fabric? And let's start there.
Yeah. So let's see. We had a lot of choices. We still do. I'm sitting here with my book of fabrics that has, all sorts of lab dips and different fabric options, but these could have gone different directions. Honestly, I was looking for something that was very versatile, very tough, had visual interest. If you check out our page, you'll see that we want something that has a little bit of it has a hand, has some interest, has some toughness, has a story behind it. Let's
talk about that. What is it about the hand with the fabric? What brings to it?
Yeah, so this fabric and I want to get to something here with you, but because you were a big part of this, this fabric has a looser weave, a canvas weave, compared to what is a plain weave that's used in most traditional outdoor trekking pants, which is a very flat, smooth surface, the same on both sides. Whereas this weave for the canvas that we have right here has a lot of kind of big fat yarns that are tied together, which gives it a looser, more rough, more interesting appearance. And hey, Bill and Peaches, and hey, young Satoshi, thanks for saying hi. Remember, you guys can ask questions and hear anything about the Flex Canvas pants. That's what we're talking about now. Yep. But really, Chris, I'd like to turn that question back on you, because the fabric that we're currently using is to you. I was having trouble finding what I wanted, and you actually said, I've got an idea here, and so you can kind of tell me how you found it, why you like it.
Well, for me, the design approach was definitely, I guess, to think about it, we kind of, in my ultralight time of backpacking ultralight, you kind of always see lighter and lighter, thinner and thinner, these really tight, made nylons. And I kind of I kept seeing this idea of my favorite pants are, I usually go with a rugged jean or, a pair of Carhartts or something. And then when I want to go out into the field, I want something lightweight. I want to be able to use that. And I just kind of got sick of this idea that we have to switch our outfit to fit the what I wanted to achieve. And then I also think that there's this weird thing about this whole cotton kills that's in the industry right now. And, cotton has its problems with getting wet and other things like that. But I think that a problem people that are our consumer tend to think about is when you're going to use these in the field, I don't think most of the time people, especially if you're looking at the forecast, you're not going to go out with these pants when it's going to be a torrential downpour. And I think this idea that cotton kills is kind of awkward. So for me, to get away from that, we can get into that, a whole conversation on that another time. But for me, it was like, I want to build something that lays like my favorite pants. I want to wear them all the time, but I want them to fit and feel like the pants I want to use out in the field when I'm hiking a lot. And that was where we started coming up with this idea of like, I want it to have a workwear, aesthetic, and I want it to have the roughness and the quality of that, but I also want it to have the stretch, and I want it to have these other features that you get out of your pants that you take out in the field. So we kind of went back and forth for a long time, and that's where we kind of settled on that.
Yeah, and you said, hey, I've had these old pants where we had them from that have a cotton poly blend that's almost half and half with a little bit of spandex, and that I absolutely love them, and you've been wearing them backpacking, and you're like, I honestly like them better than any other pants that I own.
Honestly, and that was the thing and I went through this whole wave of, cotton kills, and it was like, do not wear cotton out in the field. And I kind of just was like, why is that? And I just decided to wear some other stuff, because I go out a lot. And then at one point I was like, to be honest, these breathe better. They feel better to me. They, when you're just sweating a little bit, the polyester's in there, and that's kind of the development. But I guess, okay, let's move on.
Well, you're good. I want to show something really fast if I can get to it. I've got my little book here that has all of our stuff. This is from the original.
Were you showing some of the original, the very first Inception stuff?
Here's one of our first sheets of options for this pant. Actually, this wasn't one of the first ones. This, getting a little stuck together. Here's one. You can see we didn't end up going with this mill, but
what was that one? I can't tell from here.
Hans Global. It's cotton based. It's that stretch canvas for pants, basically cotton based.
It's the one you see on most outdoor pants right now. Is that?
Yeah, it's more like that. And then we got in. Let's see. I got this sheet in, which is another sample reference sheet for more.
It took a while for us to actually settle down and pick something that we felt really comfortable with. And I remember there was that aha moment where it was like, oh my God, this is what we needed. This is what we found. And it really felt great.
Yeah. Let's see. So this was a ripstop that we ended up we have played for another product. This was another double weave full synthetic. And then this guy came in. And if you recognize what this looks like, that's the pants fabric right there. Yep. It's canvas. And it had this visual interest on it. It had a thicker hand. The way it draped just had a lot of body to it. It's been a little beat up now because it's been about a year and a half since I got this, but I haven't pulled it out since then. But that's when that came in, and I saw that fabric, and we decided, okay, yeah, let's get sample yardage of that, which sample yardage is what you can order from the mill to make samples. It's a pretty easy to.
So let me lead you into, after we started making some development and stuff, and we started getting, samples and, making edits over all these different samples, and finally getting to a place where we felt comfortable. I guess my question is, what to you are your two favorite features that now that you've been using the pants for a year, you've had time to edit them and stuff, what do you find as your favorite features? Doesn't have to be two, it can be one, but what stands out to you about the Flex Canvas pants?
Yeah, real fast before we go into that, I saw some comments come through, so I wanted to look at them.
Okay.
First of all, thank you everybody for coming on and joining us today. It's really awesome. Appreciate that. Feel free to continue to ask questions and give us comments as we go. Ryan Westy, hey Ryan, wore the pants on a 3-day. He agrees with our backpacking comment. Wore the pants on a 3-day backpacking trip and then went into the city without ever changing them. Love them. Yeah,
that's what we want to hear.
Right. I mean, I wore them hiking on the goat trail yesterday, back to camp. We wore them to climb the whole rest of the afternoon. Wore them all night. I slept them because it got cold. So, let's see. You want to promote our product and spread the word? Thanks, California. I'll message you afterwards. Also, please message me. We are so we just got back from that trip to go on that photo shoot literally, earlier today. I took a shower, ate lunch, got on the computer, busted out work. But tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., I'm going out again. So I only say
Gotta get that done.
Yeah, reach out to me at this point. Usually I'm pretty good about outreach, but I'm a little bit, we're going to be going straight into packing up after we get off this live session. So,
yep.
And hey, everybody else that's joined, I've been waving at you, which is fun. So here you go.
So cool. Two favorite features for you personally after wearing them for a year.
All right, let's see. I'm going to cheat a little bit, probably do more than two because my first one's not really a feature.
Yeah.
It's just the way I like them because of the way that they are. That's not a bad answer, but like the way they fit. I mean, like I'm wearing them. You're not gonna be able to see me right now, but I mean, I wear them every single day. Yeah. And they really, I spent so long dialing in the fit, so there's not weird extra fabric on the hips. There's not the crotch doesn't drop too low. The pocket.
And that's what that's where a lot of the reviews online, a lot of the guys that I keep reading, they say, looking for a pant, found the pant, finally found the pant. This is the pant. The fit, and so it's really cool to hear that. Yeah, and so, I mean, we worked a long time at another clothing company, and you can tell firsthand that I didn't often wear a lot of the clothes that we made it wasn't like I was going to do it just out of pride because we made it. I personally, wear things that fit and I really like, and I wear them all the time. And so my big, litmus test here is, am I wearing these pants every day? And I am. That's all I wear now. I mean, I built them that way to be people's favorite pants, to be my favorite pants, to just work, to never restrict me when I move, to never really be the thing that holds me back from doing the active, things that I want to do in my life. So that's kind of a cop-out answer because it's everything. But the things that I like, I want more details.
Yeah, the pocket material, and I know it's not the most detailed thing.
It's the little things.
So the pocket material basically was inspired by what you find on the inside of high-end ski and rain jackets, that mesh that breathes, that's extremely smooth, won't catch on your cuticles, and is just tough as hell. The other thing it does is it breathes. So we've got a pant with a thick, fabric. This cotton actually, this ventilated pocket actually lets air come out from, the top side of your pant right here where it gets hot when you're on a hot day. Now, these are not your desert pant, but
so you stole mine. I was going to say, for me, the favorite feature definitely for me is the inside mesh lining right here. Yeah. It only goes if you guys have a pair. If you don't, it goes right to this stitch line right here. And it is so buttery soft on your backside and right on where your sit bones are. And I love that, I didn't realize that was going to be a feature that I loved so much about the pants. Yeah. Well, I do too. I really like that on the inside. And then the other thing that just the way it works on a day-to-day basis is the articulated knees. I know. Which you can kind of see. So this articulation point here and here, if you can see them, and they're mirrored on the other side. You can see the bunching around the knees when they're flat. That means that they have an extra fabric on your knees, so that when you're doing what I'm doing right now, it doesn't pull up off of your ankle as you bend your knee and make that pulling feeling that restricts you. And so, that's a thing. And when you're sitting, when you're hiking up your leg, when you're getting in and out of your car, especially when you're climbing, which we were doing this weekend, it's a really, really, really nice feature that's subtle. It's just that took a lot of iteration too. And something I want to, reinforce or really harp on is that we've gone through 8 revisions on these pants from the first time we did the first sample to now. 8 And I'm going to ask that question in a minute. I want to go over that in a sec, but hold on, I also want to harp on, for me, one of the favorite things ever is the secret zipper pocket right on the pocket. I honestly, I didn't think I would use it as much as I do. It's just, we have the built-in wallet pocket or phone or wallet pocket on this side, but I end up using this like 5 times more than I thought. That's where I just keep my wallet. And we have the zipper back pockets too. And I thought, oh man, that's probably what I'll use. But I've actually ended up using this zipper pocket more than anything else. So I would say for me, it's definitely that front left pocket. So it's still, I think I might have now added it to the online description, like that there's a hidden pocket. I know we had a couple people say like, what? I didn't even know that was a feature.
That happens to me all the time. Like so I love when people email me or call our number with, their impressions of the pants, and it's almost a joke now. I expect it for them to say like, and after a week of wearing it or 2 weeks, I found this extra pocket. I didn't even know it was there.
It's like a little Easter egg.
Yeah, and I like it. And that's like one of the other guys that's like, I actually talked to recently that just so loves them. That was like his thing he harped on. There's other small stuff I want to point out while we have the opportunity on the features. This is small. So that's the front of the shank button right there, or the backside of it.
Yeah.
A little natural real leather washer on the backside to keep that from pulling through over hard use. And if you ever had jeans or chinos that do that, it's always a pain in the ass because this is not a do-it-yourself repair unless you have a press and an extra shank. It's not like you can just sew it back on. So this will keep that from pulling through. Presumably, the pants should just totally disintegrate before that ever happens. There are double bar tacks on the pocket here. So there's a bar tack vertical and a bar tack horizontal, which bar tack is just a bunch of heavy thread put down in, a closed space for strength. So what that means is when you put your hands in your pockets, I can probably get a better illustration like this. Like, you can pull on it, it's not going anywhere. And I know, a lot of y'all that have had chino style pockets, I'm sure are familiar with the experience where you put your hands in the pockets kind of heavy and you just feel stitches pop, right? And over time, that pocket's just going to get worse and worse. There's a hole there now. And then
well, that's also part of the shaping right here, the angular shape right here on the pocket. So it doesn't have that direct pressure.
Yeah. That's also it's visually nice, and it is
visually nice. But
if you do decide to not use the knife pocket and put it there, it's a nice place to hold the knife too.
All right, let's talk about updates, because I think we have a question I just saw come in, and it said, "I love that the feature."
I think we might. I don't know if I'm having bad connection too, but Chris definitely is. So let's give it a second to catch up. Is everybody hearing me loud and clear? Please send a thumbs up into the comments or something if you can hear me talking right now. It's hard. I don't have real time feedback. So wave. So someone else send me some waves if you can hear me. Thumbs up. That means you can hear me. Okay, we lost Chris. I'm sure he'll be able to get back on. Okay, cool. Y'all can hear me. Let's wait for Chris to come back on. While we do that, I'm going to go back up to the last comment we got, which is from Ryan Westy again. Let's see. It's hard to read against my shirt. My favorite features: gusseted crotch, never had an issue with chafing. Also the durability. I've walked through 5-foot tall thorn bushes and there isn't a single rip or tear, unlike my jackets. Yeah, and that's another thing. I'm going to pull back up. On this fabric, being the canvas cotton, natural based fabric, it's very abrasion resistant. It's very melting resistant, like heat resistant. So you can go through thorns. You can brush up against a rock wall. You can just slam your leg into that crack when you're climbing and wedge your knee in there, and it's going to be okay. Whereas a full synthetic all the time will get that pull and run look that you get, or you'll get little holes. And especially if you're sitting around a campfire at night, big ember hits you on the leg, you're going to get a melted hole. These won't do that. That was a big part of choosing a cotton-based fabric. Let's see. I think Chris is trying to do something here. All right. He's not back yet. Everybody think good thoughts to get Chris back. So thanks, Ryan, for that comment. I really appreciate it. I'm going to send a wave to some people that just joined. Let's see if I can get this down. Thank y'all for being here again. All right, Crazy Lalo. I love that feature. However, I'd love it if, one, they were deeper in the secret pocket. When I put things there, the left side is super bulky. All right, that's a good piece of feedback I haven't really thought. So that little secret pocket on the inside, the purpose that was in mind, and keep in mind the purpose in mind in design is not always the way things can get used. That's a big rule when it comes to design. The purpose for me was I wanted a place that when I'm out trekking, if I'm out doing anything out in the wild where I'm not going to have cell service, I don't want to carry a bunch of stuff, and I just have a small pack or no pack at all. I always want a very secure place that I can put, 2 $20 to $100 cash, my debit card, and a ID on me, so that I know no matter what, if I lose my pack, if I dump all my pockets out, if I do anything, that I've got those things in a secure spot. And so I designed that for that. Chris keeps a low profile wallet in there all the time. We have people that keep other little odds and ends, headphones, buds, things they don't want to get carried away into their pockets, like small knives. They don't want to scratch their phone screen. But I can see the way it's shaped, being high up in the pocket there. If you put something bulky in there, it can add bulk. Unless we make it really deep, in which case, let's see. I don't want to go too deep into like the design brief right now, but I think it would interfere with other things in your pocket. We'll consider lengthening that. It's not a hard thing to do, but we'll do some testing to make sure that it doesn't lose its ability to get in and out of there quickly, because you kind of get 2 fingers in, grab things out. If that's very deep, then we might have to make the opening much bigger, in which case it might interfere with the regular pocket. But that's a good comment. Thanks for the feedback. That's the kind of feedback we need, and thank you, Crazy Lalo. Thanks for all the waves and thumbs up. Ryan Musty, I actually melted my boots at a campfire. The pants were fine. Right on, thanks. Oh wait, Chris did say he's coming back. Let's see if we can get Chris here. Wait, I don't want to mess up. Hey Chris, you're back. Sorry it took me so long.
I don't know.
Yeah, Portland, I guess, needs to catch up with Arkansas on our internet.
Graham doesn't like me.
Yeah. All right. I went through some of these questions. I think you heard some of it. I wish I was.
Well, that kind of was going to lead me into what I was going to ask next, because I knew one of the questions was, what's the change of the next pocket? And so I guess I want to lead in with what are your 2 favorite features that you're going to see on the V2 that we're about to come out with? What are some features with that you're excited about?
Yeah, and just to catch y'all up, if you're new to come on these, if you're new to Livsn, if you weren't one of the supporters on our email list right now, I highly encourage you to follow us. Highly encourage you to sign up for our email list. Highly encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's very basic at the moment, but what it has is the recordings of these that we put up every the day or 2 after we record them each time. There will be a delay after this one because, once again, I'm leaving at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, so it'll be probably Monday before it goes up. But you'll get a notification saying, hey, new video, new recording, new live, and we'll have these up on there so you can always catch them. So another thing, if you are new, we are launching version 2 of these pants on Kickstarter in July. So we sold out of most sizes of the Flex Canvas pants.
A lot faster than we wanted to.
Yeah, more. Well, it's give and take. We wanted to sell out. We sold out way quicker. We sold out within most sizes and within a few weeks of the campaign.
Yep. And
actually 30% of the people that bought the Flex Canvas pants in the campaign came back and bought another pair in the new game when we came out with the olive color, which is right here, which is really great. I mean, a 30% repeat customer rate if you're a business nerd is huge, and especially when they have one product with one SKU, people coming back to buy a second pair is awesome. Now, we don't want you to buy like 5 pairs. Like, that really goes against what we're going for here, but to have an olive and a tan for different days of the week. Personally, I have, I have my old sample, which we'll actually show right here, from the very first ones that I used to work in now. But I have a nice pair and a work pair, basically. One that I wear for yard work and go hiking, and one that I wear for like business meetings and stuff, because I wear them all the time. So with that, we know version 2 is coming. We know we made big changes. We know we really refined these things. So let's talk about what we did and what are my favorite refinements we made. So with this, it's important to say that you guys have helped us do this.
That is a huge thing that we want to reiterate, is that through your guys' reviews online, on the website, your interactions on our Reddit posts, through here, just comments on Instagram, I would say that at least 60% of the changes came from your guys' inputs. And so that's huge for us, because we want you guys to be a part of this brand as we grow. And for you guys, and you're the consumer, we're building what we believe is our favorite product, but for you guys, we want it to be your favorite product too. So having your input is the best way that we can, build the best products together. We'll be the fulcrum to make the products, but we want it to be something that is your favorite product as well.
Right. And we're going after, this stems down from me and Chris too, but like, I'm I wouldn't say I'm a perfectionist, but I like things to be well built. My friends know that when I go into something, I typically do it more than I probably should. I go into too deep a research. I build things nice, and I do it, the way that I think it should be done.
Cars.
That's the way we build cars. Yeah, that's the way we build these pants. That's the way we're going to build all we have. So, like, if we can combine our internal desire to make things better all the time, and when I say we redesign things, we refine things. Think about
I would say that if anybody else is listening right now that has the pants and they're saying, man, I already really love these pants, why, redesign them? It's not, we don't ever want to say we're redesigning. We're reiterating, we're taking what worked, keeping all of that, and then taking the small bits that people either didn't like or that we saw were, either needed a change, and then that's where we're going with this version 2.
Right. And think about if you overlaid a Porsche 911 from like the 60s over a Porsche 911 from 2019. Yeah, that silhouette is the same. They didn't play with that car. It's not version 2 through version 20. It's refinement over the years, and that has become a beautiful machine. Iterate. Yeah, so that's the way we're looking at this. So now we know that we are launching version 2. It's going to be on Kickstarter. Yeah. We're going to need your help to do it. We're making them better based on our feedback, but a lot based on yours. We'll go into what we're changing. So you asked for the 2 favorite changes. I think that fit refinements is a big one. So we didn't make any, like I said last time, we didn't make any fit refinements that will make it to where if they fit you now, that won't fit you anymore. But we did change things that are going to make them fit better. Yep. So with that, we made the front rise a little shorter, which the front rise would be the measurement from here to here. Yep. And then the rear rise, so it's from the bottom here to here, a little longer. What that does is you can kind of see how when I hold it, it's got a little bit of a curve, but it'll have more of that. So it'll be more comfortable when you're sitting down. It helps to avoid plumber's crack for one, but if you're sitting down, it also keeps your waistband and your belt loop, belt buckle right out of your out of your belly button there. It makes it more comfortable. It's got a flattering. If you were a Bonobos fan back in the day, they called it anti-diaper butt. Either way, we've gone into the way we designed the pockets to make your butt look good in these, but we won't go back there again right now. But it's further additions to the way it's going to make you look. About a 1/4 inch of ease was added into the hips right here for in comparison to the waist measurement to give us a little more room here. We saw some pulling on the pockets that on a lot of people that is fine, but it's just a refinement we can make. And a little bit more, about a 1/4 inch into the upper thigh. We thought, based on a lot of feedback, that our thighs were just a little too thin for the waist size.
I think it was our biggest complaint out of all complaints, and that's when we knew we were making something, a really great product, was when instead of having customer service being blasted with all these little mundane details of, hey, this isn't working, hey, this button came off. I mean, we didn't have any of those things.
We have one.
We did have 600, one.
600 sold. We had one defect, which is just incredible. So,
but so what I'm getting at is that to have literally a thigh issue be the only problem that we're actually facing, it's just so great for us to know that is a refinement we can deal with really quickly.
So hold on.
For me, the biggest thing I'm super happy about, and it's we're working towards it. For us, the idea of making the best made, the greenest product, if you will, that I think if we can get this through our Kickstarter, if you guys support, we're trying to make this with an organic cotton. So it'll be the exact same weave, recycled poly, organic cotton, and then also having that longevity and strength within the product so that it's something that you'll wear all the time, but it will last for a really long time while also reducing our footprint as the suppliers. For me, that is my biggest thing, because with our fleece, it was already a very, very exactly where we wanted it. We were able to get the fabric to where we wanted, having that recycled poly fleece and all this, that was great. Being such a new brand, it was really tough for us to be able to hit minimums with the fabric, but we were able to work with our supplier, and right now we're so excited for us to possibly announce that we're get the organic cotton. So that's huge for me.
Right. And just to put that in clear, very black and white, we have this fabric sourced in organic cotton recycled polyester with a C6 DWR coating, so it's water repellent. We need to hit a minimum order quantity of 5,000 yards of fabric before we can produce that. We don't have the funds sitting in the bank to just buy that up front. If we also, there's waste issues to just go that and have it sit that long anyway. But if we can hit a certain amount, and we don't have the exact numbers yet, it will be Kickstarter. It will be the stretch goal that you'll see. It's going to be a very real stretch goal. It says if we sell this many, these pants are now organic cotton recycled polyester, and then we can truly kickstart the process.
On top of new colors and other things like that. So there are things that I think for you guys that'll really resonate well, especially for our initial backers that, have the khaki ones, or they were able to get a pair of the olive ones. Having some new colorways with our refinements, I think is going to be really awesome.
Yeah. So another thing we did that is a big change that I like is when I originally designed this knife pocket, it was for a knife that I had that was very small. I was really going for, very small daily use. I ended up getting a new knife, which is just one of these things that, as we live and learn, we know that not everybody has a small knife. This is just it's a very small bench-made bug out, but it fit quite right. So on the version 2, this pocket is getting a 1/2 inch wider and 1 inch deeper. And also the single needle stitching is going to go to a double needle because it's the only single needle stitching on the thing. Also, the front pocket bags are getting 3/4 of an inch deeper altogether.
Which was a big request. People saying, "Hey, these are great. A little deeper would be fantastic." So
if you have a plus size phone, they fit, but it's not just, not as roomy as we'd like it. We're also moving that knife pocket to where it's on both sides, so the knife pocket mirrored on both sides, that bigger one.
Which for me, I don't necessarily carry a knife all the time, and I always use that pocket, when I'm working in the house or anything like that, just to slip things in. And with the first iteration, I wasn't able to get my fingers into it. Yeah. And so as a knife pocket itself, it worked well. But for my use, I was like, I can't actually use this pocket very much. And so now with the expansion, I'm really excited for that to just have as an additional spot.
Yeah. Hey, Pip, I saw you came in to say hi, going to work. Thanks for stopping in. Another thing too is this button here on version 2 is actually going to a recessed stitch cat eye button. So the stitching on this one's sitting on top, which is fine, but it means if you rub up against a dirt, a rock wall or some brickwork or whatever, it's gonna have some abrasion on the button, and it could potentially make it fall off. Which we chose a stitch button for that exact reason that if a pop button, which we had the choice to do, fell off, you're not going to be able to replace it. If a stitched button,
I had somebody ask me that, why not do a popped button, and the reason for me is I want to be able to repair this myself as easily as possible before I ever have to send it in to get a repair done. And that's something that I want all of you to understand is that take your best effort to repair your own stuff, no matter what you own. And then from there, if you can't, try to work with companies like us that will help you to keep your product and be able to have the battle scars, keep it going.
Yeah. Once again, if you're new here, we do have a repair program where if this breaks down, you send it back to us. We're going to fix it at cost and send it back to you. We really believe that we should keep our clothing that we have longer before buying something new. And then when we do buy something new, that we buy it right, buy it to last, and take care of it. Yeah. And so we're standing behind that by offering that repair service and building our clothes in the very beginning to last a long time. Yeah. Also with those, if you do have a problem with this button on your version 1 ever, email us. We'll have extras of the new cat eye button that we'll send out to you so you can sew it on. We'll also sew it on if you send it to us, but we're going to save energy and resources by not shipping it back and forth. Big product, and we can mail you an envelope with a small button. Or 2 buttons, and we can do it ourselves.
Let's see if there's any last questions before we sign off.
Yeah, I also wanted to address the color thing. I know you put it in there, but we're definitely gonna do a dark, really, really dark charcoal, like an almost black, and a highly requested color.
And that's what I'm wanting.
Yeah, so you want it. So I want it too. A lot of our guys that wear them in workwear and actually work situations where they're in a shop or they're doing, I've got 2 customers now that have told me they're welders, that they like to wear them there, and then other people that work in a situation that dark charcoal is really good, for resisting stains and anything like that, and it's also just a clean color.
There's actually a question from Mac Welding Fab. It says, what kind of price options are we looking at for the Kickstarter?
Yeah, I'll take that one. So the price thing, and this is where we'll once again on these, we'll be very transparent, mainly because it's unscripted and I'm not very good at keeping secrets. pricing at a startup, especially, when you're building new products, is hard because you're setting retail prices based on the market conditions. You have to have a margin that supports the company. I think I actually have this in our sustainability article about, how having a decent profit margin on your product is the only way to have a sustainable company, because you need to be able to afford the overhead to offer repair and replace, recycled products, good warranty, all those kind of things, and support a workforce that's there. People that are going to answer the phone from Livsn when you call when you have an issue, and not from an overseas call center. So anyway, that aside, you can read about my thoughts on pricing. The retail price of our pants is going to go up. I think it's one that should have been higher from the first place. If you look at a normal margin for even direct-to-consumer apparel, we are priced lower in the market than most of our competitors, with a product that I think is higher quality, with a better warranty, and a company standing behind it for the right reasons. But also, version 1 to version 2 is getting much better,
including the organic.
Even if we hit those. Yeah, even if we hit those minimums for the recycled poly and organic cotton, it's going to cost us more to buy that fabric. The DWR code is going to cost us a little more to get a more performance fabric. The extra, the double-sided of the pocket, the extra material, a little bit extra material we're using on these updates is going to cost a little more. The buttons a little more. So any of those things, those all translate to a little bit higher price point. We're probably going to end up around the 129 mark retail. As far as Kickstarter, the way it's being mapped out right now is we're going to offer our first tier, I think, at 25% off, roughly.
And you guys are our first tier. I mean, you guys are here doing the thing, and so you guys stay with us, and you'll get the first tier. That's right. That's a fact.
That first tier pricing is designed to be at the price point that they've been selling since the campaign, which is $99. Yeah. So that first tier early bird pricing is definitely going to be right around $100 price point, which is going to be a great deal. If you've noticed, we didn't never put anything on sale other than the Kickstarter because we ran out, and I believe we're going to do that again. Don't like getting into a cycle of promotion where we're kind of racing everybody to the bottom on price. As soon as we start doing that, it's a vicious cycle, and we end up cutting services as a company. So we are going to protect our retail prices as we go forward. And so these Kickstarters are an amazing way to get into the product, get into our warranty, our repair policy, get a very good product at a discount that's going to be very rare moving forward outside of Kickstarter. We'll continue to do that, and that will be, if it's the value we're exchanging for you helping us finance and build this company, we're giving you a discount on the product. So the pricing tiers will go from there. And then we're actually going to do some other, as you go up in volume, like we'll have the ability to buy 2 pants or 3 or 4 if you're buying. Yeah. We'll give price cuts on those 2 that are similar to that first tier. Hey guys,
I think that was the last question.
Hold on, let's see. We've got some charcoal. I'm going to wave at some people. I want to make sure, there's something I want to show y'all really fast. I know we're going to sign off here, but I thought it was just kind of fun. This is one of the, I think, version probably 3 sample. I'm not really sure, but it just, when samples come in, they don't always look like, this is a finished production. See, labeled, tagged, our brand logo, our trims, everything.
Yeah.
The sample sometimes comes in looking like this. So you've got like a, random black hand cut washer on the back, some logo that I'm not really familiar with on that was sitting around the factory. That's our really beautiful back, and then something like that on the rear too to show.
Yeah, I wore these. It's really fun when you look at it and you feel like my precious baby, and then some people are like, I don't know. I don't really see what you got going on there.
I don't know. What's the branding you got?
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if I follow
it. It's derelict.
You have to, think about the next steps. But yeah, it's so funny you're showing that.
But these are well worn. I wore these. You can see my wallet on there. I wore these for probably 7 months straight. And then also something else that Chris was there. This is like a stand-in mesh. That's not the mesh we were going to use.
Yeah.
And I made a choice on
much
mesh.
Lower quality.
The next sample came with this, and I started to think that I was insane, and I chose a terrible mesh. I started doubting my judgment. I called Chris. I'm like, dude, the production's going to be awful. This is the mesh we got. Emailed the factory, pretty worried about it, saying how soon can we get a better mesh put in, and then they were like, well, no. We forgot to tell you. We used a lookalike mesh that we had on hand. Your mesh hasn't arrived yet. So anyway, that can happen in the process as you're designing clothing. They typically, your final product doesn't come in until really late in the process. Even those Kickstarter pants that you saw in the video from the first campaign were not a final production. Yeah. Like the pocket bags were white, and if you kind of, on some of the pictures, you can see it poking out like this little white mesh. It looked awful. I mean, it's not that bad, but to me, it was
Yeah, and if you guys have any questions about how to make clothes, what it takes to get in the industry, design, questions even about design, I want to make a product, shoot us things on Reddit. Go on our Reddit. You can pose any question. It doesn't have to be about Livsn. If you say, hey, Chris, Andrew, I'm interested in making this top. What are kind of some steps to even get started? Things like that. Like, feel free to just chime in, and we're here to all be a family and work on it together. So.
Right, and we'll share it. I mean, contrary to what it may look like, we've actually been doing this for a while, and we know the industry fairly well and the supply chain and how to get things done. Yeah. So I mentor through Techstars Network, and I mentor through some local areas, companies that are coming up and wanting to build their first things. And you don't have to go overseas and build 1,000 units plus to build clothing. You can do it stateside. You can do it low minimum.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options, and that's one thing I try to tell people is, you might not get exactly what you want when you have a lower runs, and that's why we have to run Kickstarters, because we do want to build exactly what we want. And so the Kickstarter is there for us to be able to build the best product. But if there are other people out there that have questions of getting a connection with a small somebody wants to do a small run on something, we'll just get on the Reddit and post some questions.
Yeah, cool. All right.
All right. Thanks everybody for signing on.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been awesome. Thanks for signing on. Thanks for being engaged. Once again, if you're watching this on live or anything like that, tell your friends that they didn't have to come here and watch it, which would be great if they did, because they can ask questions and interact the way we have. But these will be on YouTube. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You follow us on Instagram, and you subscribe to our email list. You're going to be up to date. You're also going to know when we do our Kickstarter that first tier, those early bird specials, you'll be the first one to know, because we're not going to blast that first. It's going to go to the people that subscribe to our email list, that follow us first, before it goes into any ads or cross promotion activity. So thank you so much for being here. I'm going to sign off now. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you, Young Zatoshi. Yeah, the stream's been great. Yeah, tell your friends. I mean, seriously, anybody interested in this, get them on here. Appreciate it. Later.